Happy Friday, beautiful ladies. I am so excited to be on with you this evening. It is 5:30 on a Friday night, but I told Brian, take Emmeline for 10 minutes. I've got to go make this training for my team. I have been hard at work today just prepping for the new month, and I wanted to share some tips with you guys. I was actually having a conversation with a coach, and we were just chatting about, planning and kind of what I just kind of shared with her what I was working on essentially. And she was like, wow, that is incredible. And so I thought, you know what? I bet the whole team could benefit from this. And so I really just wanted to jump on here this evening. I know that a lot of you guys are trying to finalize things for November. You're trying to take advantage of that $20 off. You're trying to hit Success Club and get that squared away before December 1st hits tomorrow. But I wanted to jump on here with just a quick training on prepping for a new month. And this can be applied to any time, any season, any month, any team. So even if you're not from our team and you're watching this, hopefully this is beneficial for you. Sorry, my computer's blowing up here. So the topic tonight is planning for the month, but really what we're getting down to, the nitty gritty, is batch working. And so I listened to an incredible podcast the other day from Jenna Kutcher that I will share a screenshot of in the comments below. But it was great. It was on batch working, and basically she talked about how it has changed her business and how it has just really helped her kind of get her content under control. We work ahead. I don't know about you guys, but I am a procrastinator. That is what I do by nature. I wait till the last minute to do everything. I'm talking from birthday gifts to Christmas gifts to content for my Instagram to stuff with my team, honestly. And I'm really trying to get better at that, because what I know is that if I will work ahead, number one, I'll be less stressed. Number two, I'll have more time and be able to be focused when I'm with my family. But number three, I'm actually going to create my best work. And so in order for me to make sure I'm really being wise with my time and giving people the best service to my coaches, to my challengers, to the people in my family, my loved ones, I've got to start working ahead. I've got to start thinking ahead. So it's been little things, right? And this is part of the pruning season that I'm coming through. And I don't want to say out of, because I'm clearly still in it. But little things from on Black Friday weekend, I literally ordered all of my Christmas presents. And I thought really hard about when I wanted to get people, instead of the week before Christmas running around trying to gather things. So it's really just about thinking ahead in little things in life, but also bigger things in life, right? And so listening to this podcast on batch working couldn't have come at a better time, because in some aspects I had already been batch working, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But in some aspects, I haven't. And so I wanted to kind of share how I've done that. So here we go, guys. We're going to dig in. So if you are sleepy right now, grab a cup of coffee or energized, listen to this, because it's going to get you really, really excited. So when it comes to planning my month, there's a few things that I do, and you guys need to do this in your businesses as well. So tomorrow, December 1st, maybe it's this evening, the night before, maybe it's on Monday morning. Maybe Monday is dedicated to this. Those need to be long working hours for you, and here's why. If you will put in more time in the beginning of the month, those first 2 days, and just get super focused and spend some extra time really planning out your content for the whole month, you're going to feel so much better. You're going to actually be able to kind of just breathe out and serve your people and be present with your people and pour into your coaches and pour into your clients more. And it's just going to make you feel better. I have been working in the past on a week-to-week basis. So every Monday, I was batch planning all of my content for the week. I did something crazy today, and after listening to Jenna's call, I decided to batch all of my Instagram posts for the entire month of December. I know, pretty crazy. Let me tell you why. Because when I sit down and I just brain dump, what are the things that my challengers are really struggling with? What are the things that people who are following me are really struggling with? What was I struggling with 2 years ago or 3 years ago or 4 years ago when I started my fitness journey? I just brain dumped all of these things, and I brain dumped the things that I think matter to my followers and the women I want to work with. So quotes on motherhood, maybe it's something on my Instant Pot, maybe it's something on managing my schedule because I'm a busy mom. Maybe it's something on, tips to fitting in a workout even when you work full time. So these are the thoughts that I was having. And I literally just brain dumped them all onto a piece of paper. And then what I did was I sat down. It took me 2.5 hours to do, or 3, because I kind of did mine in little pockets. I would have sat down and just done it all at once. But I obviously work a full-time job, so I was just kind of doing it in power pockets throughout the day, like as I had little breaks in my work. So I probably did like an hour the first time this morning. And then around 2 o'clock-ish, I did another hour and a half because I had a little bit of a break. So it probably took me about 2.5 hours. So it was still very focused time. It wasn't like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. It was still a good chunk of time, but also like broke it up a little bit just so that I wasn't like, obviously too, I had to do my full-time job. But here's the thing. I sat down and literally on Planoly, which is an amazing platform. I'm going to also link that below. I literally just planned out every single Instagram post for the entire month of December. And I don't have images with them yet, but I will go through as I capture pictures and swap those out. And so the great thing about this is that it gets me thinking ahead. I'm like, okay, what kind of pictures do I want to snag for those Instagram posts? But then also, I don't have to worry. What I plan to do is get all those pictures in a good spot, and then they're scheduled, and they literally post on their own. Like, I don't even have to go in and press post. It just literally goes up. And so for me, sitting down in 2.5 hours and planning out every post for an entire month is much more efficient than me sitting there spending 30 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes with my child running around and my husband wanting me to make him breakfast and help him get out the door so he's not late to work. And I'm sitting here trying to write an Instagram post. Anyone else feel me? Like, that is real life, and that is what it looks like. I'm sitting here trying to think, and there's all these things happening, and all of a sudden, if I would just take the first of the month and plan out the entire month, then I can be fully present. Because I don't know what's about you guys, but Monday mornings are crazy around here. So if every Monday I am planning content for that week, it's still kind of crazy, right? And I wake up Monday and I already kind of feel behind because Monday wasn't scheduled. And so sitting down and planning them out for the entire month is also going to help me make sure I'm bringing good content to the table. Because the natural instinct in me is to want to write a faith-based post. That's totally easy for me. But to get into tips on doing certain things, that takes a little bit more thought. And so if I'm sitting down and I'm writing it like I would write a blog post, then it's just much more thought through. The content is naturally going to be better. And so that is something that you can do, that if you're a working mom or whatever, you could stay up a little later one night. Kids go to bed at 7:30. You go to bed at 10. Stay up. Get all your Instagram posts knocked out for the entire month. The thing with batch working, though, is, guys, you've got to decide what it is you're going to work out on in advance. So Jenna Kutcher talks on the podcast how she wakes up in the morning and she knows that from 8 to 4 she is working on her podcast, or 8 to 4 she is working on her blog post. It's just that and nothing else. So you can't be jumping around from a coach call to working on this, doing this. It really has to be, okay, tonight is just going to be focused on getting my Instagram post scheduled. And one big thing, too, that she mentions in the podcast I think is so true is that you walk away from the day being like, wow, I just scheduled all of my Instagram posts for the entire month. I just wrote all of my blog posts for the entire month. I just scheduled every single post out for my challenge group for the entire month. I just made an entire launch plan around Transform 20, everything from the Google form to the before and after to the written email to, instead of going back and forth. If we will just sit down and have super focused time, what is going to happen is when you're with your kids, you feel freer. You're a better mom because you're not trying to be like, kid, write this. Oh, kid, write this. Going back and forth. And so if we'll take the time to be super organized on the front end, we can actually be way more present with our families. And so let's talk about a few different things that you can batch work. Batch working just basically means you're doing a whole chunk load of it in a batch, kind of like you'd cook a huge meal and then freeze it for the rest of the month. That's essentially what we're doing in our businesses. And so you can batch work your content. So everything from your Instagram posts, your Facebook posts, to your blog posts. I mean, it's my dry erase board, so if I keep looking up, to your blog posts, to your challenge group, to your launch promo stuff. You could go in and literally just plan out every single thing about your challenge group that you're going to do. And guess what? Then you feel really good about the rest of the month in that challenge group. And so my recommendation is that you monthly are batching everything that you do. So far for me, I've already batched my IG for the entire month. I've already got the launch promo for Transform 20 all batched and ready to go. It's pretty much all good. The only thing I have left to do with that is that I didn't get to the email because I ran out of time, but I will get to that this weekend. And then obviously my challenge groups I have not batched yet, so I would like to do that this weekend if possible, but if we don't have time on Saturday, because Sunday obviously is unplugged for me, if I don't have time on Saturday, then I will get to that on Monday, and my plan is to batch that for the entire month for my virtual gym. And so some of that will be just really saying, okay, this day is the day I'm going live and I'm talking about this topic. So part of it may just be writing it in your calendar and just deciding on what you're doing what days. That kind of brings me back to your marketing plan. So while we do have a team calendar, which will go live tomorrow, we do have a team calendar. At the same time, it's important for you guys to also have your own kind of marketing calendar so that you know what you're doing what weeks and you're really thinking in advance. So before you can really start doing your content on your IG and all that, you've really got to have kind of your team calendar, your monthly marketing plan put together of this week I'm doing my free group, this week I'm doing this or that. This month I'm not doing a free group, but that's kind of how it needs to look. And then for your weekly, so weekly you can also batch things as well. So maybe you sit down and you batch all your IG posts for that week. You can do this weekly. I just am I'm giving it a try of doing it monthly, and already I feel amazing about it. Like, just getting that done today was the most freeing thing of knowing that the rest of the month of December, like the month that's crazy and I have so much going on, I don't have to stress about it. Like, am I going to jump in? Am I going to be checking in? Am I going to be doing Instagram stories? Yes. But I don't have to sit here and spin my wheels about what I need to share with my people. And so I really believe this is just honestly going to free us up and make us feel more alive in our business. So then we can do the things that we love to do, like connect with people, set up one-on-ones with coaches or clients. And it gives us more time to do those things because we've got all of that done on the front end. So moving forward, my personal plan is that the first 2 to 3 days of the month, depending on how much time I need, those will be my batching days. And so I won't set up any coach calls. I will try my hardest not to really do anything outside of just batching my content, batching my newsletter, like whatever it is that I need to get done. And so that's the beauty of all of this. And so I hope this was helpful for you guys. I am going to link below in the comments Planoly and a YouTube video on how to use it in your business. It is a phenomenal platform. You can actually do, I think it's like 30 posts for free. And then after that, you have to pay. And I'm on the free plan still, but I've thought about doing the paid plan eventually. But I think you can definitely ride it out with the free plan for most of you guys for a while. And that doesn't mean that I'm not going to still share things like periodically if something's on my heart or if something comes up that I want to share. But at least now I know I have all my content ready to go. And if I don't use something, I can just move it to the next month. So I hope this was helpful, guys. And I hope that you have an amazing weekend. Happy almost December. And I can't wait to hear about your goals for the month. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But I'm excited about what God's doing here. And it's just going to be an incredible month. So have a great evening.